Welcome to Sinister Heroes. I'm your host, Danny Iniquitous. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, this is a channel about Dungeons and Dragons. A big thank you to our Patreon supporters. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you're able to, help support us on Patreon. The link is in the description, as well as a link to the live stream game, which we're a part of on Wednesday nights over at Critical Failures. With all that out of the way, we're going to jump into the wonderful improvements they've made to the Purple Dragon Knight. The Purple Dragon Knight was one of the worst subclass created. Really, there was a lot of pushback about it. People hated it. It didn't really feel very easily understood. It was a very complicated class to understand and make use of, and it really didn't give you anything besides being a fighter with one or two abilities to inspire everyone by giving them, I think it was temporary HP or something like that. It wasn't very widely used. It really wasn't what people thought when they thought of the Purple Dragon Knight. Purple Dragons have their own history in D&D, but those who were new to the game, and 5e brought a lot of new people to the game. You hear Dragon Knight and you expect something, and what you got was something completely different. But they did turn it on its head and give you a lot of cool things. So we're going to go through that right now, starting with its first level 3 ability, Knightly Envoy. You learn one additional language of your choice, which you choose from the languages table in the player's handbook. Additionally, you can cast the comprehend language spells, but only as a ritual, and intelligence is your spellcasting ability for it. You also gain the Purple Dragon Companion. You are bonded with an amethyst dragon hatchling that serves as your Purple Dragon Companion and uses the Purple Dragon Companion stat block. The Purple Dragon is friendly to you and your allies and obeys your commands. In combat, the dragon acts during your turn. It can move and use its reaction on its own, but the only action it takes is the dodge action, unless you take a bonus action to command it to take an action in its stat block or some other action. If you have the incapacitated condition, the dragon acts on its own and isn't limited to the dodge action. If the dragon companion has died within the last hour, you can take a magic action to touch the dragon and expend the use of your second wind. Otherwise, the dragon returns to life after a minute with all of its hit points restored. Otherwise, you can perform a 1-hour ceremony to resurrect the dragon. The ceremony can be performed as part of a short or a long rest. So, this is pretty on brand for how they run pets throughout D&D. Anything that's not a spell like Summon Undead has usually these kinds of formats to it. You have to use your bonus action to do that. As a fighter, you do not often use your bonus action as much as you believe you would need to, unless you specifically went a way of doing dual wielding and things like that, and not picking up certain other aspects of dual wielding, like the weapon masteries that will give you the nick property that can eliminate your need for using a bonus action. But that being said, your Purple Dragon Knight does have a couple of abilities. First, its armor class is 13 plus your intelligence modifier. A +2 would bump it up to 15, so that's not so bad. Its hit points is 4 plus 4 times your fighter level. So again, it's not meant to be super tanky. It has dark vision up to 60 feet, so if you don't have dark vision, it has dark vision for you. It understands the languages that you know, and it has telepathy for 30 feet. So it can just speak for you or be your alert mechanism or tell you where enemies are. You can set that up with your DM and really make it work well. Now, it's amphibious, so it can breathe both air and water, and it has something called a stalwart bond, which add half your proficiency bonus to any ability check or saving throw the dragons make. It has 30 feet moving speed, 30 foot fly speed, and a 30-foot swim speed. It has 2 attacks. It has the Rend, which is a +3 plus your intelligence modifier, 5-foot reach, 1d6 plus your intelligence modifier, in force damage. And it has Gravity Breath. You can use this twice a day. It's a Constitution saving throw. The DC is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier. Each creature in a 15-foot cone, if they fail, they get either pulled 15 feet straight towards the dragon or pushed 15 feet straight away from the dragon, your choice. It doesn't deal damage, so understand that. Now, this does give you kind of a need to focus on your intelligence and making sure you have a moderate bonus to it. So really think it out, and you'll have to plan out your ability scores based on that. Or if you're rolling, maybe you want to add to your intelligence pretty high. But you won't necessarily need certain things. Because you're a fighter, you can wear heavy armor. You don't necessarily need that much dexterity, because a lot of the plate and heavy armors don't get any bonuses from dexterity anyway. So you really won't need much in there. You can just stick for strength, unless you wanted to use specifically dexterity for other means. But investing intelligence is obviously something that's really important. It not only increases the purple dragon's armor class, it does give you a better gravity breath DC save. Now, at 7th level, you gain Dragon Rider. You and your purple dragon gain the following benefits. The dragon grows to medium size, and you can use the dragon as a mount if you are medium or smaller. But while you're riding it, the dragon falls at the end of its turn if it's airborne, and the only thing holding it aloft is its fly speed. It takes you only 5 feet of movement to mount or dismount the dragon. So you do gain the opportunity to use this as a mount. Because you're controlling them both, you do get to follow the mount rolls where you do kind of direct where it goes, and you can make it just take the dodge action. That way you can use your lance, and if anything tries to hit it, it attacks it with disadvantage, giving you great movement speed, now making you a really good mounted combatant. It does give you an improved gravity breath. The gravity breath now becomes a 30-foot cone, and when a creature fails its saving throw against that gravity breath, the creature also takes 2d6 force damage. And when you use your second wind to regain hit points, the dragon also regains hit points equal to 1d6 plus your fighter level, and it regains 1 use of its gravity breath. So at level 7, that's a big improvement. You can now use lances and a shield. You can really come up with a more unique identity for what a purple dragon knight is. At level 10, you gain Rallying Surge. When you use your action surge, you can choose up to 3 allies within a 30-foot emanation originating from you. Each ally can take 1 reaction to use one of the following options. The ally makes 1 attack with this is advanced. The ally makes 1 attack with a weapon or unarmed strike. If your purple dragon is one of the allies using advance, the dragon can make 1 rend attack. Retreat. The ally moves up to half its movement speed without provoking opportunity attacks. So, this is really interesting, because there's this big push to use advance whenever you use your action surge, making your dragon do an extra attack. Retreat is a very tactical thing depending on the circumstances that you're in. You can only pick 3 allies, but in most games you're usually between 5 and 6 companions. So usually your party, you can move most of them that are in danger out of danger. At level 15, you gain Amethyst Pinnacle. You and your purple dragon gain the following benefits. The purple dragon is now a superior mount. It grows to a large size, and both its speed and fly speed is increased to 40 feet. Additional, the dragon no longer falls at the end of its turn if it's airborne while you're riding it. Tandem Attack. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can forego one of your attacks to command the dragon to make 1 rend attack. Alternatively, you can forego 2 of your attacks to command the dragon to use Gravity Breath. Now that is really interesting, because it gives you a tactical option to kind of switch up what you're doing. Now, considering where you are at 15th level with your attacks and your action surge and all this other stuff, this might be really beneficial to get one of those in. I doubt it'll be Rend though, because Rend, even at a higher level, is still only doing 1d6 plus your intelligence modifier. It's probably not going to hit as hard as whatever it is you're using in your main hand weapon. The real benefit is going to be the Gravity Breath, because it does give you an opportunity to maybe attack and swap out once you get 3 attacks. I forget what level it is for fighter. I believe it's around this area anyway, or it might be 16, or it might even be 12, to be honest. You do get the opportunity to change the way the battlefield is laid out. If you can push things 30 feet away from you, that is huge. Well, I'm sorry, you can push them 15 feet away from you, but you can push enough of them with Gravity Breath that you can save people that are in danger from it. And I think that's really what what more of the intent is, because it's not so much that you're doing 2d6 damage to X amount of people, it's that you're changing tactically the battlefield to your advantage. You know, you might be next to a cliff or something and be able to push a whole bunch of them off. That gives you certain circumstances that might be really beneficial to you, especially if you're using a weapon that does give you the availability to push someone a good distance, swap out your other attacks, and push them even further, guaranteeing them to go over a ledge or into some sort of other elemental danger, like spells that have concentration that are stuck in an area that deal damage over time, or restrain people once they go in there. And then the final ability you gain is Enduring Commander. You and your purple dragon have resistance to force and psychic damage. That's 2 resistances. At level 18, force comes into play more often, and psychic damage is something that could be a real threat at that level. So those are really good damage resistance to have at that level. Early on, not so much, but later on, it is more probable that you will deal with things that can do that kind of damage. The Purple Dragon Knight is really unique for a fighter because you do have a pet, but it's not meant to be a damage dealing pet. I think that's pretty apparent. It's more to be a tactical pet. It is very, very cool that it's designed to give you mounting abilities and give you the ability to fly. I like the idea of a Purple Dragon Knight wearing all heavy plate, carrying a lance and using a shield, and really going hard at leading combat and being that hero and using the gravity breath as opposed to using the rend attack. I think the rend attack is really just kind of for flavor, or in case you go down and that thing has to defend you. I like that idea a little bit more than it being an offensive machine. And if you look at it as an offensive machine, I think you're going to be disappointed. I think it's more so the fact that it gives you a mount, it gives you flying mount, it gives you the availability to have your mount be what a horse is to a regular knight, and really reflect that. You do get a couple of cool abilities and things you can do with Rallying Surge. I do like the idea that you're more designed at being a leader on the battlefield. And having a dragon knight really exemplify that, I feel like really hits the idea and the theology behind what I believe a dragon knight to be. And I think that's really, really exciting. I would definitely work on a mechanic of flying really high and then dropping down on your enemy and holding your reaction until you're close enough to jam them in while riding the dragon. I think that should be worth at least some additional damage or something. But that being said, I actually really like this. I think it's pretty cool. I like theorizing what it's going to look like and the artwork that can come from this. I think it's very cool. I think it's got a lot of Final Fantasy themes etched into it, and I think that's really exciting. With that all said and done, definitely let us know what you think. Let us know if you like the original Purple Dragon Knight. That would be really interesting to see what people say. But a big thank you to our Patreon supporters. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you can, join them and be a Patreon supporter. The link is in the description, as well as the link to the live stream game, which we're a part of over at Critical Failures, which is Wednesday night. And again, thank you for giving a spooky kid a chance.